Previously on Eden.
She's just like, get over here! Oh no, she's crying! No, not the crying! I can't stand the crying!
And our story continues.
Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land, JAC of the OneManBand is back again. Welcome back to Eden. In the last episode, Shion told us to leave. To, like, save ourselves. Because, you know, end of the world. But, will we actually? Let's find out. The moment was astir again. I couldn't hear much else besides the sound of the wind rocking the treetops, but the mountain itself certainly felt like it was shaking. But that as it may, I didn't sense any impending crisis. I guess we're alright for tonight. I guess we're not gonna die. No earthquakes or anything. I didn't want to stray far from the cottage. It seemed best to head back for now. I turned around and started to go back on the road from which we came. My stride was heavy. It felt as if lead weights sat on the bottom of my boots. Well, you know, it could be worse. I mean, lead's dense, but I don't think it's the heaviest thing in the world. It was almost like I didn't want to go home. Maybe you don't. She doesn't want us to die. Oh, and she cried. Yeah. Amazing, huh? She never shows any emotion. What is this? Don't want me to die, huh? Ever since we came to the mountain, when we settled into our new lives, Shion had feared for my future. She must have known that I didn't know what to do with the freedom I'd obtained. That's because we're the dullest person ever. Oh my god. It hadn't been a lie that I wanted to protect her. But if I was being honest, even if I didn't protect her anymore, all that was left for her was to wait until her time to come, now that the military had backed off. That's what she's always wanted, bro. Why was I here? It's one of life's great mysteries, isn't it? Why are we here? Shion, who cried and told me she wouldn't let me die. If I stayed, my presence would only make her regret everything. I wanted Shion's heart to be at peace. After finally escaping, smiling, and getting to walk around outside, the last thing I wanted to do was make her suffer. Then just go! Jeez, just leave with Maya! Why are you contemplating this? That was what Elika and I desired. Realization! I closed my eyes against the piercing wind that suddenly blew past. That cold, dry wind which blew without end. My eyes! It's gone all white! Why? What I saw when I managed to open my eyes. Wait. What are you doing? Get out of here, steam people! Consuming shadow? Not now. Amazing, Ryo. It's so awesome. It's so amazing. Or Shion, wait, don't run like that. So is this the beginning of the game? Because I remember the beginning of the game. All those months ago when I started this game, I still remember that. Wait, what's so amazing about it? That was us, once upon a time. Shion jogging lightly up the hill and me chasing after her. That was the wind, the sky, the green. That doesn't tell me anything. Tells you everything, man! Yes, it was when we first made it to the mountain. The very first time I climbed the hill with Shion, the day it became her favorite spot. Because the hills are alive with the sound of music. The wind changes this drastically depending on the location. The wind asked me as she climbed almost to the summit, gasping for breath. Her expression hadn't changed much from the usual, but there was no doubt she was excited. It's a little cold, but I guess the wind does feel nice. Yeah, I think the wind here is gentler than it was anywhere else on our journey. Well, that's because it's so peaceful. It's so nice here. We're in the mountains. The look on her face as she stood there, her hair ravished by the wind, was like she was in a world of her own. Well, technically it kind of is, due to the fact that everyone else has kind of left the world to go live in space. So, it kind of could be her own, if she was the only person left on the world. There's still a few people left, so I'll shut up now. Although she was still tired from our journey, Shion was teeming with life this day. Thank you, Rion. Oh, you're welcome. Huh? There were times when I was a little nervous about where you were going to take me, but I like this place. I like your home. Oh, well, I like it too. I see. Her words made me happy. Then express it, dang it! The fact that my home, no different from the day I'd left it, pleased her. The fact that she had accepted this place as her safe haven. And most of all, I was happy that she was smiling. That nice, cute little smile that only she can pull off. If I'm here, I won't be lonely. I'm sure I'll be able to smile. Shion basked in the wind, practically speaking to herself. It seemed as though she might grow wings on her back, catch the wind, and fly away any second. That would be awesome! I remembered. This was the moment I first felt like I had met the real Shion. It was like some miracle that you were there, free as the wind. Ryo? Yes? Am I coming back to reality? What is it? You're just like the wind too. You gently wrap around me and carried me all the way here. Oh, well, thank you! I'm like an element. Air. Thank you, Ryu. Oh, well, you're welcome. You don't need to thank me twice. It's okay. When she smiled back, then, I felt a deep pain in my heart. Ugh! Feelings again coming to me! Why is this happening? I don't feel feelings. Surely, I must have had an inkling. An inkling that she would someday lose that smile. Her face had become cloudy with tears. Oh, we're back to reality. Shion had said goodbye, offering me a future where both her wish and an act of kindness, and now the surreal journey was over. Are we finally drawing to the end? Are we? No. It should have ended ages ago. Had we simply turned a blind eye to that reality. Had I accepted everything I had to do here. Aw, sis. Elika. Major. All dead now! But I remember them. Have I done enough? I think you have, bro. Will the final gift I gave Shion be to choose the future and live my life? I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, I think everybody wins. We live, and she doesn't feel guilty about us dying. But forget that, because we're washing our face with cold water to drive away the sleepiness. I didn't sleep much last night. I saw a few whiskers popping out under my chin. Good! Maybe you should let them grow out. Maybe you'll look like an actual man. Like me. I wish I could do the full beard, but my current job doesn't allow it. So, I looked in the mirror and promptly shaved them away. No! You coward! How dare you! Now I was ready for the day. Now then. I muttered to myself, and as I was about to leave the washroom, the door opened. Who is it? Maya, what do you want? Last time I interrupted you in the washroom, now you're interrupting me. Is this going to be a reoccurring thing?
Ohayo.
Morning. Morning. Aw, are you depressed because we're going to make you leave? Maya had a bit of a long face. Well, she ain't a horse, silly. That was a terrible joke. Yeah, it doesn't look like she was just drowsy. Can we switch? Yeah, I'm all done anyway. Shaving, like, because I need to for some reason. Maya and I swapped places as she walked into the washroom. Hey. Yeah? What is it? What you want? Is today really going to be the last? I guess? Yeah? I stopped in place and faced her. I stared straight into her, I have no idea how to pronounce that word. Melancholic. Like melancholy. You see, if it was melancholy, I could have read that, but you put an ick at the end, and I'm just like, why do you throw foreign languages in my face? Her melancholic expression is just like I said. I'll take you as far as the spaceport. I'll have to stow away, so we'll part ways there. I'll just, like, shove myself into a crate. I should be fine on my own. I did make it all the way here on my own. That you did. Conditions change with every passing moment. There's no guarantee our destruction will come slowly. It's entirely possible it's gaining speed. There was also that mysterious shockwave we had to consider. The thing that you slept through. If you travel alone, you could die. And we wouldn't like that. No, we wouldn't. Pretty little face like yours shouldn't go to waste. I've taken that into consideration. According to Maya, a senior colleague of hers was flying around the planet to capture the final state of the world on film. Apparently, that colleague would be taking the final colony ship as well, and was arranging to come meet her somewhere nearby on helicopter. It may be nearby, but you won't be able to cover that distance in a day or two. I'm more rugged than I look. I learned more than just how to write an article from my uncle, you know. Yes, indeed, you did. You learned how to survive. I know that. My traps hadn't been the most sophisticated, but she made it through them unscathed. I had no problem admitting that she had quite the aptitude for coping with danger. Her and Danger could trade blows and, she wouldn't go down. Either way, it's not just your problem. That's the part I don't get. Why did you suddenly decide to leave? And why just you? Well, if I tell you the truth, you wouldn't accept it. Dude, you can tell her the truth. Come on. Stop playing the mystery game. What? Why won't you tell me? Sorry, I can't even explain it clearly to myself. Dude, come on, get a life. He can explain it clearly, he just doesn't want to. For some reason, I didn't feel like telling her that Shion was crying. I believe that I should keep the final wish from the frail girl everyone believed to be strongest of all locked away in the depths of my heart. Besides, I doubted anyone would understand even if I told them. Yeah, you know this girl? Yeah, she was crying. I know, I don't believe it either. Come on, dude, use your brain. How her cheerful goodbye had shaken my heart. What, you don't want to admit that you have feelings, bruh? You don't want to admit he has feelings. Come on, dude. By the way, Maya.
What?
Yes? You never did tell me to go with you. If Shion had said she would go to the port, then of course you would have come along too. That's why I never said anything. You never imagined this outcome, huh? Where I'd be going, but not her? You didn't imagine that? I still don't really believe it. Maya furrowed her brow doubtfully. It had been 3 days since Shion bid me farewell. In the end, I couldn't refuse and had decided to travel with Maya. We had plans to leave tomorrow as long as nothing out of the ordinary happened again. I couldn't be sure these feelings were real. I could feel my heart wavering inside me. That's just called a heartbeat, bro. It does that. Where would those feelings lead me? To the future, I think. And what was on her mind this very moment? I don't know, why don't you go ask her? Unless she, for real... No, she didn't leave us. She just told us to leave. It's like, why don't you ask her? Use your words, Ryu. A heavy silence fell upon us at the breakfast table. Shion hadn't spoken much these past 3 days. Even when addressed, she inattentively she was inattentive and did not respond. Maya had gotten timid and couldn't bring herself to speak anymore. The three of us did no more than eat our frugal breakfast of white rice, fried eggs, and salad. That sounds like a breakfast of champions to me! I could live off that. Maybe not so much the salad. I mean, maybe salad every other day, but not every day. Blech, salad's kind of gross. Which reminded me, Shion still couldn't make anything besides fried eggs. Yesterday and the day before, I made multiple trips to the nearby town and collected as much preserved food as I could find and left it for her. Food shouldn't be a problem for a while as long as she didn't mind the taste. Yeah, them MREs, blech, kind of gross. Still, when I pictured her eating bland food all alone, it was kind of depressing. Hey, Haruna. Yes? What is it? People are finally talking at the breakfast table. This is amazing! Never mind. I want conversation, please. Maya sunk into silence, looking disheartened and scarfed down her remaining side dishes. Shion, on the other hand, kept her chopsticks moving at her own steady pace. Almost like Maya and I were invisible to her. Well, she's probably just mentally preparing for you guys to actually be gone, because then she'll have, the sadness come. Tomatoes! And eggplants. Yeah, those are eggplants. Yay! There was plenty I had to worry about when I came to the fields, too. Thinking about it logically, it would be impossible for Shion to maintain them all on her own. So what will you do? I'm sure Shion remembers exactly how to tend to the fields. Mentally, I'm sure. She'll be in big trouble when she tries to do it for real. Because she's weak. She's a weak little girl. She shrugged, looking astonished. Speaking of Shion, she was off on her own digging into the dirt with a shovel. It was a part of the field that had been harvested and was currently out of rotation. An empty plot. And there she is, just digging a hole! I don't know, maybe for fun? I used to dig holes for fun when I was a kid. Dig a hole, it's fun. Even if she can't, there's plenty of food at the cottage, and she should get by somehow. There's something I'd like to ask you. What is it? All you do is ask me questions. What in the world is your and Shion's relationship exactly? Dude, I don't even know. I mean, have you met Ryu? He's like a wooden board. He isn't interesting at all. That's a rather sudden question. I gazed at Shion, silently digging her way into the pitch-black soil. Soil's black. I think the soil's sick. A girl I'd met while on my journey, chasing after my sister, whose circumstances were similar. To Shion, I was but a mere replacement for Elika, who should have been the one to take her away. Me, who despite my confidence in my abilities, was nothing but a soldier in the end. She, who produced the ships which brought hope to mankind. By all rights, neither of us had any common ground to speak of. Except that, we're both kind of boards, wooden boards. But she's the more interesting wooden board. Shion decided that this will be her resting place. She made that decision on her own free will. There's no need for me to follow her lead. That doesn't sound like something a person who protected her all that time would say. That's Shion's wish. I mean, I can't do anything about it. I'm sure I told you. Shion's will cannot be bent. Maya suddenly took a step towards me. You gonna attack me? Her fist sailed through the air like an arrow, determined to find its mark on my face. I saw it coming, and my body didn't move. You mean I take the blow? I take it? A heavy sound on my cheekbone being smacked sounded as though it came from someone else entirely as I stood there. I just tanked that blow. I'm fine. I'm cool. I'm alright. Maya, on the other hand, looked like she was in pain. Adamantium bones! Baka! Ryo, you baka! My cheek slowly began to burn. Maya glared at me, teary-eyed, as she rubbed her fist. You know, I fell in love with you too. As in the two of us, not me also as well. You and Shion seem to understand each other on a very deep level. I love the gentle atmosphere between you two. So, why? I think the real question we should be asking is, how are your eyes blinking and your mouth moving, but your necklace doesn't move? I'm just saying, I know it's a still picture and stuff, but still a question to be asked. This isn't something you should cry over. It makes it seem like I just came here to tear you two apart. Maybe you did. Maybe it was for the best. It's frustrating. She wiped her tears with her injured fist and ran away. She ran towards the mountain without turning back. Frustrating, huh? I guess there's a good way to describe my life. Frustrating. We don't think too much of ourselves, do we? The frustration I'd carried with me up until we fled the research facility had completely disappeared before I knew it. Gentle atmosphere, huh? I never thought I'd ever be a part of such a thing. Ryo? Yes, Shion? What do you want? You finally talking to me? It felt as though it had been a very long time since I had heard her voice. Well, it's been 3 days, dude. At some point, Shion had tossed the shovel aside and was standing before me. Well, that's a very small shovel. What's up? You're bleeding. Am I? She reached up and touched my mouth. Her touch was cold against my lips. Yeah, this is blood. She stared at her fingertips covered in my blood, as though it were some wondrous thing. Well, blood could be kind of wondrous. Shion, focus. The rest of my blood is in here. Yes? I was a little surprised she answered, but I hid my reaction and kept talking. What were you digging for over there? Buried treasure? You find One-Eyed Willie's treasure map? We digging for One-Eyed Willie's treasure? What are we doing? Because One-Eyed Willie's treasure is actually in a boat. It's not underground. Well, it's underground in a boat, but, I mean, you can't get to it by digging. You have to go through a convoluted cave system and a water slide. I looked over at the small hole she had dug with her shovel. That? Yes, what is that? Well, that puts a somber mood on it. That's my grave. Well, you're not in it yet, so you can't really be your grave yet. It was, and we don't go into any more detail about that. Nope, we just move on. It was our final dinner in preparation for our departure tomorrow. Maya wasn't at her seat. Well, she's probably sleeping. Oh, yeah. Well, she could be sleeping, you know, crying off that punch that she took at me. Shion went back to being silent, finished her meal mechanically, and immediately retired to her room. After I finished cleaning up, there was nothing more to do. I just kind of stood there, looking at that radio, as if this moment I was confident it was finally over. Wow! That didn't last long at all. All the preparations were in order. It might be more accurate to say there were no elaborate preparations needed in the first place. I had weapons and tools that could be useful for sneaking around about the colony ship, and of course food. With that much prepared, I shouldn't have any issues. The real challenge will be when I reach the port. The sneaking in. Just harness your inner solid snake and sneak in. It should be fine. I had already come up with a few ways to infiltrate the spaceport. I thought of roughly 27 tactics, but infiltrating was likely possible with any one of them. How dull. They should beef up security, make it a challenge. Come on. It wasn't some sort of I wasn't some sort of amateur who took pleasure in overcoming adversity or taking on powerful foes. But I couldn't stand boredom. Maybe you should start whittling. Like whittling wood? Carve like a duck out of wood? That'd be cool. I picked up the small box on the table. Ooh, Maya had entrusted it to me. But what should I do with it? Maybe you should open it. Find out what's inside. Or have we already figured out what's inside? I can't really remember. I hadn't even thought about it, and yet I planned to descend the mountain and head to where my only boredom awaits me. Well, what exactly are you doing here? I mean, sure, you're living life, tilling fields, doing that, but that could be kind of boring, too. Except if it's Harvest Moon, then it's fun. Hey, what should I do? I mean, meaninglessly asked myself. Because had I become so very weak? When had I become so very weak? You were not weak at all. What? Man, who said that? When I looked up... Why are you here? Ghost! Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Elika, why are you here? You're supposed to be dead! I guarantee you were strong, Ryu. Nobody else could have taken Shion away. I do not think anyone else could have protected her either. There stood a maid with a meek smile on her face. Elika? How are you? Yes, that is me. Thank goodness. You have not forgotten me yet. No, the bigger question is, how are you here? You're transcending time and space. Elika looked truly happy when she smiled. Being forgotten is the saddest thing in the whole world. I do wish the people I love would remember me for as long as possible. I feel that is what everyone tries to live for, to be remembered. Hope for what you may after death. There's no way that anyone will actually make sure of it for themselves. You are as pragmatic as ever. You better believe it! So are you real? Elika shouldn't be alive. No. She had admitted herself that she was dying. And if she were alive, she surely would have tried to make it to Shion's side by any means possible. Does it really matter if this is a dream or reality? No, I guess. I live on within you. That makes me very happy. Is it not the same for you? I wanted to meet you one last time. Well, you only meet somebody once. You see people multiple times. That was how I truly felt. If only Elika was here. Just how many times have I thought that since we'd broken out of the research facility? How should I treat Shion, who seldom smiles and is nearly impossible to get a read on? I have no idea. I wanted to ask you so many things! You should have wrote a book of instructions! Shion sounds blessed. Elika said with a tender smile. Blessed? The fact you worry about how to treat her, does that not show just how dedicated you are to her? You treasure her dearly. Thank you. Well, you're welcome. Is Shion really blessed? By me? By me? How? But if by some chance she did feel blessed, why is she trying to keep me at a distance? Because of reasons, dude! Jeez, do you really want to know, Rio? Might as well! You gave Shion your undivided attention. That girl also showed you her true feelings, or at least the feelings she believes to be true. But there is yet more to be seen. That goes for both you and Shion. It would be best if you both saw it through together. So you're saying that I should stay, and not go. It didn't matter if this was a dream or reality. Elika's voice and her words had certainly left an impression in my heart. Hey, Ryu. You left the military behind. It's getting to that point, people, where I can't really talk that much more. Came here with Shion and spent every single day together. Do you regret those times at all? No. No, I do not! I didn't have an ounce of regret. If I hadn't rushed off with Shion back then, I'm sure I would have forever regretted not being able to save my sister and continue to live seeking nothing but death. If you are upfront about how you feel, I'm sure Shion will reward you for that. Elika approached me with a smile on her face, and then disappeared right before my eyes, saying something in Japanese that I don't understand. When I came to, I was lying in bed. So it was a dream! Dang it! Okay, everybody, I'm gonna end this episode here. I hope that you enjoyed. And if you did, be sure to like and favorite, subscribe if you feel inclined to. And I'll see you guys next time I'm out there in YouTube land. Be a good person, tip your waitresses, keep moving forward. I'll see you then.